Greetings. So this is going to be like a dream share, but like a message as well, because it reminds me, the dream specifically that I had reminds me of some of the downloads that I received like a few months prior, um, where God was telling me that people will be placed in certain spaces where they don't belong, in like on the surface of things, like a place energetically that does not um, match them. These are like dark spaces. When I say dark spaces, where demonic activity happens, or that are not of the light. You know what I'm saying? So dominantly, there will be people that are not of the light in these spaces. So before I say this, please use your discernment, you guys. Never take what I say as gospel truth. This can be a confirmation for some of you, can be a revelation for some of you, but either way, guys, always pray about it, always seek divine counsel about it, and make sure that this is a message for you and you're not just taking my word for it. Okay. So I had this dream this afternoon during my nap. I had a dream it looked like I was going to a club, but it was like, it felt like it gave me a Vegas vibe, that I was in Vegas or something, at one of those really big clubs at the hotel or whatever, like those really, popular clubs and stuff that celebrities go to or whatever. It was nighttime, of course. Night can also represent darkness. In the dream, I was going to this place with Cardi B, which is weird. I don't get that part of it. But specifically, we were going to this place, and I noticed there wasn't a line or anything. When I was there, it was like no people in line trying to get into the club. It was like completely like empty outside, but we knew something was going on inside. So it kind of gave me a vibe of like, it was kind of like an exclusive spot or something, maybe, that only certain people were allowed to go to. And we were standing waiting forever for somebody to check us in. And then I was like, oh, they need us to pay some money, because obviously when you go into a club, what do? You usually pay to get in. You have to pay a cover fee or whatever, a cover charge. So I put down like a small amount of money, and she was like, basically like, nah, that's not enough, that's not gonna work. She pulls out like 2 stacks or something like that. It was like a big wad of money she lays out on this, I don't know what it is. It's like some little, I don't know, like the little things where you get checked into a club and they have like a little clipboard there or whatever. It was something like that. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, she put the money down. Then this lady comes and checks us in. So I'm like, oh, you got to pay to get it. Like, you got to have money, like to pay your way into these types of spaces, right? So we get in there, and then the scene switch, excuse me, and we're sitting in like these really big like lounge seats kind of, but they were like cubicles, like everybody had their own section. It was so weird. So it was something about it felt kind of elite, from the best way that I can describe it. Did not look like a normal club. It was weird. So I'm sitting there, and right next to me, I'm singing a song. It's like they're playing a song, and it's not a song that I've ever heard in before. It's not a song that actually exists. It was a song in my dream. I hear music in my dreams all the time. I hear beats in my dream. I hear songs, remixes to songs that don't even exist. It's the weirdest thing ever. So I was like, I probably need to be a producer or something. But anyway, yeah, I was hearing music and I was singing it. Then I heard this lady next to me. It was 2 Caucasian women, and one of them used the N-word with the R at the end, right? And I was like, oh, this racist heifer. So I stood up, and she was looking at, what are you doing here? With a little snobbiness. And I'm like, because I got let in. I was let in by so-and-so, whatever. And she was going in, and in my spirit, I was like, I hope somebody's recording this. And whoever was next to me, it wasn't Cardi B. It was kind of weird. I got in with her, but she wasn't the one that was next to me. It was somebody else in the dream. I don't know who this person was, but I'm like, I hope somebody's filming this, so if there's any problem, they're not going to play Karen and then get me kicked out because I didn't do anything, right? So someone was recording, and I was like grateful for that. And I started calling the demon out, and I was like, racism is actually demonic behavior or whatever. And I started going into breaking down, if you call yourself to be a Christian, I don't know why I said that to them, but I was like, basically, if you call yourself being a Christian or women of God don't hate. And I use the scripture, love thy neighbor. And then for whatever reason, the dream ended at that point. The point is, for those of you that are being called into these spaces, you're going to have people, you're going to deal with dark people like that, dark energies, demonic people that work under those demonic influences. Maybe racism might be for some of you, because if you're being called into certain spaces, maybe where not a dominance of people of color dwell, or for some of you, it could be any type of discrimination, or just simply because you're of the light, and majority of these people are of the dark. They're going to have beef with you. How you handle it is everything. You are meant to be an example. That's why you're there in those spaces. You're meant to be of some sort of light. So, of the divine, of the Most High God, you're supposed to be the light in those dark spaces. So with that being said, also, I had a witness, someone that was recording this, documenting this, so that if any issue comes up, there was proof and evidence to support me. And so you will have people, I feel like you won't be in this by yourself. Like I said, it's not like Spirit's just throwing you to the wolves. Like God is like, oh, I'm going to put you here, I'm going to put you there, calling you to the wolves. No, you're going to have some type of support. There's always going to be your tribe is going to be somewhere, even if it's just one person, whether it's a stranger, someone that is of the light. They are your tribe, period, because you guys are on the same mission of love and divine light, to bring glory to the kingdom, not for yourselves, but for the kingdom and for those that will benefit from this light. So yeah, long story short, that was an interesting dream. And one thing that I wanted to note as well is Vegas, Sin City. So might be put into places where there's, like I said, a lot of activity of stuff you just don't get down with. And it's not to say that you are to necessarily partake in that, but you know what I mean. So this can go in any sense. I don't know what that is per se. I feel like I've been in certain situations, in spaces that are where I was used to be a light, in spaces that I really wasn't supposed to be in, even yet and still. I feel like God is using me in that sense. So yeah, just make sure that you're divinely, called to these things, and but as always, much love, peace.